Well, I mean, it all started from the Demetrius Hopkins fight because everybody saw me beat him, and they gave him a crazy decision, and I was like, man, this is garbage, man. So I said, you know what? Why don't you guys give me another prospect? I'll beat him too. So they, it was talk of, Bojado, and somebody had mentioned to me, I don't know if it was a joke. They said, if you beat him, Oscar will probably come out. So, I mean, I was like, I didn't believe it. And then I beat him. As a matter of fact, Sugar Ray Leonard said that to me. I don't think he was serious, but he's like, hey, you might bring Oscar out, man. Beat this guy, because I know Oscar's really high on him. And so now I beat, once I fought Bojado, I actually had a dream that I was going to fight Oscar like a couple months later, but after the Bojado. And then they called me right around Christmas time. The contender promoters called me and said, hey, what would you think about, it was like, we got some news. And I was like, all right, what's the news? They said, how would you feel about fighting Oscar De La Hoya? I was like, well, I said, of course. I said, but I think it's garbage because I was in line to fight Arturo Gatti. It was between me, Alfonso Gomez, and somebody else. And Alfonso Gomez got it. So I was like, I'm not going to get it. That stuff doesn't happen to me. And they was like, no, this is serious. It's between you and, I think it was Paulie Malignaggi and Dimitri Salita. And I was like, whatever. And they were like, well, I'll get Golden Boy on the phone. I think, Eric Gomez got on the phone and he said, yeah, it's between those guys, but I'm pushing for you. And I was like, all right. And they was like, we'll let you know in a couple weeks. So a couple weeks goes by, and then I get a call and they say, all right, you got the fight. And I still don't believe them. They said, you have to fight, but you can't say anything. I said, well, I don't got the fight then. They said, you got to fight, but you can't say nothing. I was like, oh, man, you got to prove to me that I have to fight. So they sent me a poster, the Tecate poster with the beer. They was like, we're going to print beer cans. This is what it looks like. But you can't show anybody else these beer cans. We're going to email it to you. And so once they did that, I was like, okay. But I still couldn't say nothing. So it wasn't good, Here it is, like around December, almost Christmas time, and I'm like, I can't say nothing. Yeah, this is, so I was kind of like, oh man, something's going to happen, he hurt his leg, and the fight is over. But no, that's how it came together, and then it was official. Actually, we had the press conference on my birthday, which was February 26th of 2008. So I was like, all right, this is, once we had the press conference, I was like, okay, this is the go. So no, that's how it happened.
And being at that time, the persona of De La Hoya, did that overwhelm you as a fighter, or is that something that you were just excited about, and you kind of thought like, this is my chance, my opportunity? Can you talk about that fight a little bit?
Yeah, no, I don't know if anybody knows anything about me. I'm not afraid of anything. Not any man with two arms, two legs. No, so that never bothered me. The myth of him, anything of him. I was like, you know what? This guy is gonna know I'm in there. I didn't, I knew I was a big underdog. I knew he had made me move up in weight, and I was like, you know what? It's a big event. And he kept saying, oh, the lights are gonna be bright. I'm like, dude, I was born. If I could survive being a 2-pound baby, I could survive any type of fight. I'm not worried about this. I was a fighter since I was born, so I was born to be a fighter. So I wasn't, the hype of it didn't bother me. I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to get to fight, all-time great. He will be a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer, so that was my chance. And I knew everything was against me. I knew moving up in weight was going to be tough. Fight. We fought at 150, the catch weight of 150 pounds. I'm a lightweight at my best, pretty much. Maybe a little bit over that. But I'm normally a lightweight. That's I just had to fight bigger guys. But yeah, so no, I was for that fight, man. I don't know if you guys know, during the whole process, I was training with Roger Mayweather, who had trained me throughout my career, and I won the world title with him. And like a month before the fight, Floyd Mayweather Sr. pulled Roger and said, "Hey, if you train for us, I'm gonna fire you." And so I ended up training with Jeff Mayweather, and I've had a relationship with Jeff, Roger, and Floyd Sr. My whole professional life career.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that was a little funny to do that, man. For Floyd to do that, he knew I was gonna fight Oscar. He knew Roger was gonna train me, and then for him to kind of, show his power, I guess, so to speak, to pull Roger away. We had a good plan, so it kind of, things kind of got a little shattered as far as game plan, but it ended up working out. I mean, went out there and fought. What can you say? I gave him, all he could handle, I think. So.